General Robert S. Peterson had a well-respected and distinguished 40-year military career in aviation, much of which was spent right here in Minnesota. General Peterson was born on December 7, 1920, in Glen Ridge, New Jersey, where he spent his childhood years attending school and dreaming of being a pilot. He graduated from Montclair High School in 1939 and within days was hired at Prudential Financial, where he continued to work until his retirement. On Robert's 21st birthday, Pearl Harbor was attacked, effectively launching his long military career. Not wanting to wait to be drafted, Robert took the initiative and enlisted in the aviation cadet program, asking specifically to be assigned to fighter training. Upon completing his training and earning his wings in 1943, he was initially assigned to the 1st Air Commando Group. But when a call came from General Chennault for volunteers to join the 14th Air Force in China, naturally, he was one of the first to answer the call. During World War II, Peterson flew 96 combat missions over China as a member of the 75th Fighter Squadron. He was promoted to captain. Upon returning to civilian life, his love for aviation still going strong, he immediately accepted a reserve officer's commission in the Army Air Corps and resumed flying. Eventually, when the reserve lost its P-51 fighters, he transferred to the Air National Guard to fly the P-47. When his employer, Prudential Insurance, transferred him to Minneapolis in 1954, he joined the Minnesota Air Guard and flew all models of National Guard aircraft from the P-51 to the C-97. His talents were recognized in Minnesota, and he was soon promoted to Chief of Staff and finally, Major General. Recalled to active duty during the Korean War and the Berlin Crisis, as well as flying many missions to Vietnam, he gained 6,300 hours of flight time, flew 30 different aircraft types, and received 27 awards and decorations, including the Distinguished Service Medal, Distinguished Flying Cross, and the Air Medal. He was also a graduate of the Air War College. All of this while keeping his day job at Prudential, where he eventually retired as Director of Data Operations after almost 45 years of service. Volunteerism was a large part of Robert Peterson's life. He was a lifetime member of the Minnesota Air Guard Museum and of the 14th Air Force Flying Tiger Association. He was honored by the Boy Scouts of America for his service in the Youth Through Scouting programs and was recognized as an honored citizen of the city of Minneapolis. He was a member of the Metropolitan Airports Commission for 6 years and proudly served as president of the Kingswood Homeowners Association in Plymouth for 20 years. In Kingswood, he practiced his philosophy of always leaving a place better than he found it, seen by his love of planting and gardening that will remain there to be enjoyed by generations to come. Robert Peterson was also a family man. He married his sweetheart Eileen, with whom he lovingly raised his 2 children, Ellen Louise and Robert Lewis. Robert and Eileen were together for 40 years until her passing. Some years later, Robert was lucky enough to fall in love again with Jean. They married and were together for 23 years until his passing. In 2001, he published his autobiography entitled A Kid from Jersey, in which he detailed the impact World War II had on him. Papa's tale is that of a lifelong volunteer who knew no other way but to serve others and asked little or nothing in return. We are privileged tonight to be inducting this amazing man who has brought so much to Minnesota.